Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. Super excited to have you all here today. And boy, do we have an amazing topic today. I also have a very special guest with me today. And today's topic is what I learned from my Paddy Galloway Consultation, freaking genius. Because Paddy is a genius on YouTube. And I have a really special guest with me today. My good friend Tyler from Teach Me Golding is with me today. Tyler, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing awesome. Thanks so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you, man. And this is a real treat because, you and I have been supporting each other for a long time on YouTube, and you recently had a consultation with Paddy Galloway, and this is such an amazing topic for us to dive into. It really is the perfect thing to share on this channel because it's all about growth. It's all about learning. And so thank you for coming on. I'm really happy to have you here, man. This is a special treat, I think, for everybody. So again, welcome to you, my friend. And let's welcome a few people in here as we kind of get going. And then we're just going to jump straight into the meat of the content because there's a lot to talk about today. Also, if you're joining the live stream after the fact, thank you as well, and welcome to each and every person watching the replay of this too. We're really grateful to have you here. You'll want to watch this whole live stream because there's going to be a lot of amazing nuggets of information, and Paddy is such an incredible YouTuber. Tyler learned a ton from him, and Tyler's shared a lot with me. And I'm learning stuff too, which is great. So let's welcome some people in here. I'm going to welcome in Jeff. Jeff, great to see you again, my friend. Really happy to have you here, man. Appreciate your support every week. In the live chat at one point, Paddy had commented as well, so thanks to Paddy for commenting. Hopefully he is able to make this and watch this, or even watch after the fact, so thank you to you too, Paddy. And I'm going to welcome in also Frank. Frank from Learning and Technology with Frank. Great to see you, my friend. Frank is saying top of the morning to those where it's a morning, and good day to those where it's day. So thanks so much, Frank. Tyler, who did you want to welcome in today, my friend?
Spunky, what's going on, Spunky? Spunky, Sandy. Oh man, Alexia's in here too. AJ's in here. So welcome, guys. And
Nice.
man, if Patty's actually gonna come check this out, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah, it certainly would be amazing. Yeah, absolutely. That would be awesome. Sandy, welcome to you too, my friend. Great to see you. It's awesome to have all you guys here. And we're just really like kind of cutting out all of the fluff and the extra stuff today. And we're just that are successful. And actually, I'm just going to quickly jump over to the other window here, guys. And I'm going to actually show you Paddy's channel. If you have not heard of Paddy Galloway, you probably, I don't know, been living under a rock maybe, like myself sometimes, right? Sometimes people say like, have you heard of so-and-so? And I'm like, nope. But Paddy is an amazing YouTuber. He's been around for a long time. If you have not checked out his channel before, you will be so entertained by his videos. Most of them are around 10 minutes long, 10, 11 minutes, and they're so incredible. They're on other big YouTubers, and you can learn a ton by watching those YouTubers, but you can learn tons by watching how Paddy breaks down their channels. He really is a genius with YouTube stuff. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of show you guys briefly his channel there. Check him out and subscribe to his channel because it's an amazing channel to learn tons.
Oh yeah.
So Tyler, tell us a little bit about who Paddy Galloway is, because you're the one who had the consultation with him. What was your experience like?
Oh, it was life-changing. If you're watching this right now, you are passionate and optimistic about your YouTube channel, and you want to get better. And honestly, you guys should probably share this out because you're going to get a ton of value just from this chat that we have about the consultation that I had with Paddy. But you guys might even want to go and hit Paddy up for a consultation because I can honestly say it was well worth it. I already want to book another one, seriously.
That's awesome, dude. That's amazing. Yeah, it's really cool. To hear that. And what was it? So, for you as a content creator, like, what made you all of a sudden go, "Hey, I think I want to have a consultation with Paddy," or "I feel like this is the right time"? Like,
Well, I'm plateauing a little with my YouTube channel. I feel
okay,
like I've put in a ton of work and I'm like, why is this not working? Like, why why am I not getting 10, 20, 30 subscribers?
Yeah.
And I feel like I needed a boost. So I was actually going to sleep listening to his videos. Awkwardly enough, I told him that too. I watch his videos and then I'll listen to them as I go to sleep, just to try and help me like get a better
Okay.
vision for my channel, in the hopes that I can actually come up with some really cool things.
Yeah.
But yeah, Paddy, oh man, his the way that he breaks down a video is different than anyone else, and that's why his channel is growing. I'm actually surprised he's not at 1 million already, just because of how good
Yeah.
his stuff actually is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, his content is really amazing. I've watched a bunch of his videos too, and yeah, they're just like next level good. From everything, his whole implementation, his whole design is really incredible. And yeah, like for me, I know like watching those videos, it just brings such like so many ideas to mind, and I'm like, oh, like I can make better my content better just by doing this or doing this. And then of course watching those other big YouTubers as well, like the people that he covers, I highly recommend going and watching a lot of them, because you'll pull so much out of them. He's covering big channels and big YouTubers, and I'm like you too, Tyler. I'm surprised that his channel is not at 1 million subscribers plus, because it feels almost like it's kind of a hidden secret. Like Paddy's obviously a much bigger YouTuber, but it's almost kind of like it's like a cult favorite right now. Like there's still a lot of people who don't know about his channel, and I'm like, I almost kind of just want to keep it to myself, but at the same time, like you just want to share, because Paddy is such a good YouTuber and such a genius with this stuff. And
Yeah, totally.
yeah, it's amazing. So tell us a little bit about how you went about booking Paddy. Like, how did you figure out he did consultations, and what was it that kind of made you, or how did you discover how to go about that? Because he doesn't advertise, from what I've
Yeah,
been
he
told,
does.
right?
Yeah, he doesn't advertise anything. So I had no idea, but I literally Googled it, and I went on Google and I was like, how to book a Paddy Galloway consultation.
Yeah.
And then his Twitter popped up, and then he had a link in his Twitter bio. So yeah, long story short, go follow him on Twitter
Okay.
and Instagram. He drops a lot of really good nuggets on his Instagram
Yes.
and his Twitter
Yes.
that he doesn't actually post on his YouTube. So,
Right.
I wouldn't book a consultation with him though, unless you already know you can make better content.
Right.
See, I was kind of stuck, and I felt like I was at a point where I was already making the best content that I could make.
Okay.
And then from talking to him, I was like, holy cow, my content sucks. And like, he's not like, if you actually want to get better at YouTube, you need someone to tell you
Yeah.
why or why not your content
Yeah.
is good or bad, and like specifically what little details there are. And it's not like he's this mean person. He's
No.
literally caring and loving, and
Yeah.
he genuinely wants you to succeed.
Yeah.
And he was like literally phenomenal. And we'll get into the tips that he gave to me from my specific channel.
Sure.
I
I remember you telling me that Paddy told you that he wouldn't be good at what he does, or as good at the way he does it, if he was not honest with people. And that's I think a really key factor that's missing. It's amazing to have your regular and loyal subscribers who always come and support. Like, I have a lot of those, and I appreciate it so much. But for me, like yourself, you always tell me, honestly, like what in my video was, what element wasn't good or what needed to be better. And if people don't help me with that stuff, I'm going along thinking, hey, I'm making the best content in the world, and meanwhile maybe like 1,000 people hate it. Like, so people need
I'm super passionate about that, helping people out.
Yeah,
and that's so important.
And that's an important thing I think that a lot of people are missing. I think that we need to be honest with each other, but like you said, in that caring, kind way. And I get that feeling from Paddy. Like, I follow him on Instagram as well, and I always kind of like and comment his stuff. He doesn't post all the time, but what he does post is really, really good. And I think it's really important to remember that. Also, guys, as we're going here, if you have questions for Tyler, please drop them in the chat.
Yeah, I already see one actually, so I can answer that
Okay,
right now.
Tyler, go right ahead,
So
my
Alexia
friend.
just asked how much a consult is, and it's 350 US. So honestly, and Paddy has already said that he is going to increase that. I've seen him post something on Twitter, and I told him straight up, I'm like, man, you should charge more. Like seriously, other
Yeah.
YouTubers. Tim actually told me that other YouTubers charge a lot more.
Yeah,
So
I've seen other YouTube creators that don't that aren't even anywhere near Paddy's level that actually charge more. So yeah, I think that's a good advice you gave, and yeah, I think he listened, Tyler, because he's going to be upping his prices, and and absolutely, like when you're providing an extremely valuable service, your time is super valuable, right? So great
yeah,
question,
but
Alexia.
yeah, and just to touch on that, I think it's really worth it. Like if you're a content creator, and you likely are, if you are watching this right now, you're wanting to make your YouTube videos better. So if you really truly want to, and you want to make this a career, I think you need to think about long term what YouTube could give you, because right now you can still, like, advertising on the radio and TV is still really expensive. Advertising on YouTube comparably is ridiculously cheap.
That's true.
There's going to be a point in time where more and more big companies are going to be advertising on YouTube, and they're like, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the amount of money you can make on YouTube is going to double or triple.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, from a marketing kind of perspective.
That's true. That's very, very true. Absolutely. Excellent point. And so, yeah, guys, any questions you have along the way, I'm going to kind of try and field the questions too. Feel free to drop them in, please. That's what today is all about. It's about sharing Paddy's channel and the consultation and all this information. So if you have questions, please drop them in as we keep going. A couple other people that just showed up recently, Aaron and CJ, welcome to you guys as well. Glad to have you here. So Tyler, after you booked the consultation, what was the process? Like, so you said, okay, I'm ready to book it now, and you went ahead and booked it. How long did it take before the consultation? How did you pay ahead of time? Like, how did the kind of the behind the scenes stuff work?
Yeah, you paid ahead of time, and I'm lucky for myself. I work for a company that wants to invest in me and help me grow in my marketing availability, like my marketing ability. So,
Right.
they're actually like willing to possibly pay for another consultation, which is really
Oh,
cool.
that's amazing.
Yeah, so that would be really awesome. But anyways, sorry, what was the question again?
I was asking behind the scenes, like just in terms of once you had booked, how long it
Oh,
took
yeah,
to
yeah.
get the actual consultation. Like, did
Not
you have
long
to?
at all.
No, okay, so
No,
it
it
was
was
pretty
right away.
fast.
I basically I got to pick the exact time slot that worked for me, and they're 1 hour consultations.
Okay, it's an hour.
And
Okay.
Patty was awesome because we had an issue with our internet actually, and so I had to go to a cafe which had spotty internet. I had to, like, he was super patient with me, and he actually ended up doing like an hour and 15, hour and 20-minute
Oh,
consultation with
that's
me by the
amazing.
end of it, which was really cool.
That's
Plus, he
amazing.
gave me a full write up and report, and yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Okay, and that's another good point that we can look at too. Like, so okay, so you had your consultation. He went over tons of stuff. Obviously, he watched your videos, a bunch of your videos ahead of time, so that he could study your channel and your content and know you as a content creator.
Yes.
And so when you got this full write up after, what was that? What was that like, and what was it all about?
Oh man, it was amazing. So essentially, like, yeah, he had seen a decent amount of my videos. I actually told him, he asks you in advance, like, what's one video that you'd like to look at, but the first little bit was actually just based off of my overall page and what it was about.
Okay.
And we really talked about like niching down, and I had already kind of answered those questions about niching down. So my channel's now specifically just about trading to a Tesla Cybertruck. That's like
Okay.
the main thing. And so he thought that was really good. And then also I have like this side hustle challenge, and he thought if I really focused on those two things and really niched myself into that furthermore,
Right.
because some of you guys know I started as like an educational channel when COVID hit, teaching stuff, and then I started doing this trading stuff, and that got the most views at the time. So I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna keep doing this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it actually, a dream is kind of coming to reality. And but he really talked about what, like, so you guys watching, if you're stuck in your niche, you need to like really narrow it down specifically. And I think that's pretty obvious, but if you have someone actually telling you,
Yeah.
like, yo, you need to go and do this. That
Yeah.
really resonates and helps you out.
Absolutely.
But
So Alexia is asking the question to you, Tyler. What is it that Paddy told you when you told him you felt stuck?
he actually just motivated me, and he just said, well, from uh, my personality and my drive, he said already, it just shows that you're going to do it and you're going to want to do it. So he did stress though why I'm stuck and a couple of issues with my channel, and we'll get into some of those.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, that's a
Awesome.
really good question.
Yeah,
But
absolutely. And Frank is also asking, is there an online form to book the consult, or
yes,
do you just
yes,
contact him via email?
online form. Go to his Twitter, click the link in his bio, and there'll be an online form for you.
Okay, very
Um,
cool. So
and
it's a nice, easy
and sorry,
process.
yeah, and I also see Jeff. He said, "How do we determine if a video sucks?" Minus the obvious reasons, but if a video that sucks, how do we know? Jeff, actually, Tim and I were talking about this, and maybe we would do some reviews on some of your guys' videos and kind of give you a bit of a consultation of why your videos suck to kind of fill you in on my story. My videos kind of suck too, and honestly, a couple things that Paddy really talked about was actually showing instead of telling. So in my, I'm trading to a Tesla Cybertruck. Well, what I would do is come in the studio and I would sit here for 10 minutes or like 20 minutes, talk about the trades that I made, and then post it and sit here and wait for the views to come in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just traded to a PlayStation 5. I just traded to an Xbox. I like, holy cow, I went from a deck of cards to this. Why aren't people watching this? Well, no one wants to sit and listen to you talk. Like nobody wants to
Yeah,
like spend their time of their day
that's a good
to
point.
watch you in your parents' basement. Like, this is my basement. No one wants to do that. No one wants, to watch that. People want to see B-roll. They want to see you out and about. It's different for like an information type of channel like Tim's, or like Paddy's in a way. Like that's a bit of a different, like Tim's channel's more of almost like a podcast feel. You're watching it, you're getting information. Where mine is like, I want to like
Yeah,
suck you into my content. I
yeah.
want your eyeballs glued to it. And I want you to like notice every little detail that I'm putting into it and appreciating the editing. Well, you're not getting that watching me in a studio.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Tyler. And I think a lot of people don't remember that there's a massive difference between your niches, right? Like my niche is people want in and want the tip really quick. They want to watch 3, 5, 7 minutes and be done and gone. And sometimes not even that long. They just want the tip and then they're gone.
Yeah, or the updated information.
Exactly. And so people come in, and as soon as they have it, if they get it at minute 135 and it's an 8-minute video, they're gone. Whereas like on a Tyler style of channel where he's doing trading, where he's flipping items, where he's doing side hustles, his is a lot more like someone like Eric, where you're telling a story, right? And there's a big difference between those things that people don't realize. So you can't ever say any two channels are exactly the same and alike, because even if you're in the same niche, the people have such different personalities, right? Like you look
Yeah.
at me and other people in my niche, right? My videos are like fast chopping, like next shot, next shot, next shot. I keep it really energetic and fast, and I keep my pacing really good. Other people, like I don't see many people doing that in my niche. Everyone else seems to just sit down and talk, and that's
Well,
fine.
yeah. Yeah, like
But
Think
it's
Media is
yeah,
awesome. And just to touch on that, sorry.
yeah. No, go ahead,
like
Tyler.
Think
Absolutely.
Media, they're actually like pretty fluffy. Like they're huge because they're so good at talking, but it's a lot of fluff that they talk about.
Yeah,
They're always like punch fear, and like they've got a lot of like
yeah,
preachy type of vibes, and it's
yeah,
actually they don't really cut out the fat, but they're so good at just talking that it
yeah,
kind of works for them.
yeah.
But sorry, just to touch on Spunky Boy, he said your thumbnails are great, and Spunky, I appreciate that. However, they're actually not great. And Paddy, seriously, if you actually want to pull up my thumbnails there, Tim,
Yeah, sure,
pull up my
absolutely.
page for a second.
Let's take a peek. We'll
I'll
just
tell
flip
you why
right
they
over
suck.
here. Okay, so there we
Okay,
go.
so Paddy liked that my thumbnails were on a white background. He thought that was really good. And that's just like Instagram 101. You want everything to look clean and crisp.
Yeah,
One thing that he did say is my thumbnails. So like my new one, I have huge trades.
Yeah, right up here, guys, in the top.
And because I'm you can see it's like I'm showing you what I traded to in the thumbnail as opposed to making you guess what it was. Okay, so essentially, if you look through my Tesla trading, challenge playlist, the thumbnails actually don't really tell you what you're going to watch. And that's a big problem. The paperclip to PlayStation's one. I get that. Like, hey, you're going to see me trade a paperclip to PlayStation. That actually, like, it makes sense. But the other ones, you're like, would you actually go to my channel, and would you actually go and watch my
Like
a
Math
video
Riddle
individually?
Mondays, or
Probably not. I wouldn't. Like, now after like let's be real. I don't know if I would, because it's actually kind of confusing. So like, each of my videos needs to be kind of its own individual entity. So it's like, hey, I traded for a boat, and this is like, stay tuned, because like, this is how I did it. And you're actually going to show the journey of you trading to the boat, where I was always thinking like, okay, I want it to be a mystery. I want them to watch the whole video through. And I was so worried if I revealed it in the thumbnail, they wouldn't watch the video, which is actually not the correct way of thinking for my channel. People are going to watch because they are hopefully curious of how you actually got the boat, what issues there were, what snags there were, what drama was, in the video.
Yeah. Very, very good point, Tyler. And
But yeah, thanks, Bunky. I definitely think that too. I do think my thumbnails are nice, but I have since changed a bunch of them because of what Paddy said. The other thing about my thumbnails is they were too far away. Like, I didn't actually realize that so many people watched it on their phones, because I'm like an OG YouTuber who we just watched everything on our desktop computers.
Yeah, valid
And
point.
so so my thumbnails were always like super far back, and I didn't realize that people, and like, how many of you guys are watching on your phones right now? I'm actually curious. I bet you a lot of you are watching on chat. Put in the chat right now if you guys are watching on your phones.
Yeah,
because
it's
no
70%
that.
of all YouTube traffic is mobile, so it's a massive amount of people that watch on their phones.
Wow.
Yeah, it's staggering.
Frank says I'm old and I'm on the computer.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
hilarious.
like you, Frank.
That's funny. No, that's awesome. But yeah, we talked about the importance of a thumbnail, and how, it's also a point of Think Media. They do talk about this, and they say, why would you put in, like, some of my videos, I put in 15, 20 hours of editing. Why would I put in 1 hour on my thumbnail? Why don't I put in like 3 or 4 hours into my thumbnail and making it really good? And it might actually work out it will actually work out better for you in the long run, because everybody knows this. It's no secret. Click-through rate is important. You want people clicking on your videos, and then you want to hold that, and you want to have a high retention. It really comes down to those things, like likes and comments. Yeah, they contribute to everything, but it really comes down to clicking on the video and watching and getting that retention.
Yeah, that's awesome. AJ's got a great question here.
Okay.
AJ's saying, I've heard, to you, Tyler, I've heard that all YouTube creators hit a plateau. Is that true? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, sorry. Like, hit a plateau with the channel overall? Or
I'm guessing, yeah, like maybe hit a plateau where maybe like their channel isn't growing, like
yeah, that's just YouTube testing you, man.
Yeah, it's true.
No, yeah, everyone
I've been going through that for a long time.
Like, if you guys know anything about me, I did have a channel with 20,000 subscribers back in the day, and I definitely hit a lot of plateaus with everything. You'll definitely hit plateaus, and I'm in one right now. My channel has been 2 subscribers a day. It's been very frustrating. So, but the point is, you've got to keep being consistent. You've got to just like, seriously, punch that like in the face, and quoting Think Media, punch it in the face, punch fear in the face. But you've got to actually go and keep pushing through, because you have to think of the long term, the long term success. Like Paddy Galloway, I think he said that he had like hundreds, like he's been doing this for 4 years.
Yeah.
He's been doing it for 4 years.
Yeah.
But you've got to think like, how can I do things differently, and how can I optimize, like, how can I get people to click on things? Like, think about it. Like, why would someone, and this is another point that Paddy really said to me, is why are people watching your video? What is the purpose of somebody watching your
Yeah.
videos? If you watch all of his videos, he talks seriously every day 10 times,
Yeah.
because you'll literally get so much value out of like, what the heck is the point of this video? Why should someone sit down and spend 10
Yeah.
minutes of their life or 20 minutes of their life watching it? Like there needs to be a purpose and a point, and it needs to be shown in the video. So like Frank said too, he said, I can't even, or Frank said his channel's not great for B-roll. And I actually would argue, Frank, the reason why maybe your channel's more successful than mine, so I shouldn't talk, but there's a reason why maybe you're not growing as much as you want to. It's because you're not using B-roll and you're not finding clever ways to use B-roll. So go and look at Paddy. You would think that like Paddy is essentially doing what Tim's doing. He's talking about YouTube and growing on YouTube. He's doing what Think Media is doing, but he does it differently because he actually, all of his videos are edited and animated to perfection.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you could
Paddy
do that
doesn't
too.
produce a
to
video
pay
every
someone,
day, but he when he does produce one, it's like top-notch quality. Like you can tell he's put a lot of effort into that video, and that's one thing I love about his content is I know when I'm sitting down watching this, even if it's a content creator he's covering that I don't particularly watch that much, or maybe like myself, it's so fascinating to watch how he analyzes it. Like just watching his videos is helping me be a better person at analyzing things too. So those are some great points.
Yeah, and I do think, like Frank said, like I could use stock footage to make it better, and that does help. But I think I'm from this thought of like stock footage is also becoming a little bit overused in YouTube. I could be wrong, but I really think the way like Paddy doesn't just use stock footage. I think he has some stock footage, but he really he's using like an animating program where he's hiring somebody. Maybe I should have asked him, but anyways,
and there are a number of animating programs out there. I know a big one is Doodly, and a lot of people use that, and it is amazing software. It's not cheap, but so if you have the money or you want to grow, those kinds of videos just seem to do really, really well. And you can see that Paddy's only got 24 or 25 videos, and he's sitting on almost 250,000 subscribers. So he's definitely doing something really well, or many things very well.
Okay, so I see something else that Spunky just said.
Sure.
And it actually goes to what something Paddy and I talked about. So one of my main questions was, how do I partner with a famous YouTuber to get more subscribers? Okay. I was like, I literally was actually booked the consultation essentially just to like try and get a trade with someone famous, and also helping. Like I was actually ideally thinking like maybe I should like get Paddy to maybe make a trade. I could offer him a trade, like a free consultation for one of the items that I've traded to or something like that. But I didn't end up asking him that. But the question was sorry. I've lost my place here. You guys you guys are talking so fast in the chat.
No worries, Tyler. You take your time, buddy.
This is good. Okay, so someone said, I struggle with trying to know if my click-through rate and retention is good. What is good? Obviously. Okay, someone is talking about subscribers. Like, do subscribers matter? And that was the thing. He's like, if you book a trade with Mr. Beast, what is going to happen? Mr. Beast is going to send you 50,000 subscribers. You'll probably get 50,000 subscribers and you're going to feel on top of the moon. Well, what happens next month? Are people subscribed to you because they want to subscribe to you, or are people subscribed to you because Mr. Beast told them to and they're loyal, like cultish fans? That's why. And
that can really kill your CTR.
It would kill it.
Yeah, because if 50,000 people subscribe, and then guess what? None of them watch your videos in the next few weeks or month, YouTube stops promoting it to those people. And now all of a sudden your video comes out and YouTube's saying you should be getting a high level engagement and you're not. Your channel's essentially dead in the water and you might as well quit, honestly, and start over. You want people who are actually subscribed to you because they actually like your content. So that's a point to never be discouraged when you're seeing subscribers drop off and you're like, I gained 4 and I lost 4, and I gained 3 and I lost 5, and I gained 6 and I lost 2. If you're trimming out the dead weight overall, and I'm speaking from personal experience on this, like I've lost a lot of subscribers. I've been basically plateaued for months, but the ones that are replacing the dead ones, it's actually increasing my statistics, and I'm actually starting to finally notice a big increase on my channel, and it's finally happening again like it was at the beginning. So yeah, don't be discouraged when those people are.
Stop focusing on stop focusing on the numbers, focus on making better
Yeah,
content.
absolutely. Rangoli 108, I just wanted to mention, welcome, my friend. Glad it's your first time here. I hope you'll subscribe and stick around. We do these live streams every week. And he's asking the question, first time on the live stream, my previous video is not performing very well. What would you do first and last? Would you change the tags, the thumbnail, the title? And a lot of this is, as we get a bit more into what Paddy was sharing with Tyler, is exactly what this channel is all about, my friend. I've done actually a lot of videos on this, and I have new ones coming as well, on how important your title and your thumbnail are. Those are the two key metrics to really get people. The title is the complement really to your thumbnail. Your thumbnail is essentially kind of almost like that eye candy. When people see it, they're going to be like, oh wow, like that looks cool. The title, it needs to be kind of clear, clean, and simple, and the two have to work together really well. Your tags are important as well when you're a small YouTuber. Once you're a big YouTuber, tags don't really matter anymore, but as small YouTubers, it does help make a difference. So I would say if you think your video's not performing well, look at your analytics and see, is your click-through rate low and your retention high? Or is your click-through rate really high but your retention really low? That will tell you a lot about things. And then look at your actual analytical graph as well and see where your drop-offs happen, and watch that part in the video. And if you see a massive drop at 1 minute and 7 seconds, like a 20% drop, go, well, what did I do there? Maybe there was something you said, or a word you said, or maybe you went off on a tangent, and then maybe like that's a big indicator, hey, don't do that again because people didn't like that. Yeah, there's really a lot that goes into it, Rangoli. But if you go back through and watch a number of my videos, there's a lot of that stuff that will be explained. And you can reach out to myself or to Tyler at any time if you have questions, you know, and we're happy to help kind of offline as well. You can shoot us emails. We have our emails on our About pages. So, yeah, you guys are just loading in the awesome questions here.
Yeah, these
Thanks
are
so
really
much
great.
for that. Yeah, is there another question you see there that you wanted to answer,
but
Tyler?
something else is really important, and I'm not going to touch on it, is just don't do sub for sub. Don't do the stupid comment method. Don't do comment for comment. And I don't want to get into it because that wasn't what the consultation was about, but that should seem obvious. Is the worst thing that you could ever have happen to your videos is someone comes into it, they click it, they like it, they comment, and they leave. So this is going to bring me to probably the best part, the most value I got from the consultation was talking about how valuable, how important retaining people is, how important pace and storytelling, the point of your video is. And this is what I got. You know, I understood this, but I needed somebody to tell me that I sucked in certain ways and was good in certain ways. Like honestly, I love it. Like I want people you should want people to tell you how bad you are. If you don't have someone telling you what's wrong with your YouTube channel, they're not your friends. Because all of you watching this have terrible parts about your YouTube channels, I'm guessing, like myself.
We all do.
And
I do too. Like my old videos, I watch them now and I cringe when I watch them. I thought at the time they were the best in the world, and now I'm like, oh, it's painful to watch that.
And so I see Alexia, she said, did Paddy help you with your optimization tips or something else? And yeah, he really did. And we're going to show you part of my video, and we're going to break down why it sucks. So
did you want to jump into that right now, Tyler?
Let's do it, because we've only got about 20 minutes left. So and I mean, if we don't get to everything, we can always do this again.
And if you guys want that, we could definitely do another live stream to share a lot more about this topic as well. I'm actually going to be making a video for my channel soon as well. That's going to be like a 3 to 5 minute version of a condensed version of this stuff as well, about Paddy as well. So if you want this again, like, let us know. And the plan is to have Tyler on as a semi-regular guest as well. He's going to come on in the future and help with live channel reviews, and we're going to have lots to help you guys and discuss. So please let us know. Okay, Tyler, which video did you want to look at first here, my friend?
We're just gonna show just a small clip of me in front of the box with the. That's
Okay.
the one Patty and I looked at.
Trading
We're
a
just
paperclip for the
gonna
biggest item ever.
show the first. Yeah, and you're gonna crank this up because so you guys might have
Okay.
if we can't
Yeah.
get the audio working
Yeah.
perfectly.
Well, I'm going to turn the sound up a little bit here. We'll get that up to the top.
And I like what Spunky said. Everyone makes mistakes, but if you're scared to make mistakes, you'll never grow. Yeah, honestly, try new things and make mistakes because that is that is key. All right, I'll let you guys. So if you can't hear it, basically I am showing it's showing the opening of the quad not working that I traded for. So I'm
Okay.
creating
So,
drama,
yeah.
and I don't know if that
Hopefully the
audio is too
audio
quiet.
came through there, guys.
Yeah.
We
Let
did
us know if
test
you
it
guys couldn't
before,
hear it or
but
you could hear it. But either way, what I want to show is the start of that video clip. I had I had really started well. It started off with like a boom and me saying like, "Oh my gosh, like I can't believe this is happening." And
mhm.
that's great, but I completely kill the video. I completely kill the video by me sitting in the studio or sitting at home telling and not showing. And that's the problem. That's the biggest problem with that video is I literally should have been out and about showing instead of telling. And I'm not kidding. I basically squashed a really good video and I could have so the other thing is like Patty and I talked about is like the spotlight effect. And I know other YouTubers talk about it too is if you think you have the spotlight on you, you think that everybody cares and everyone goes home at night and they think like, oh my gosh, did you see Tim Rose? Did you see Learning and Technology with Frank? He was walking around with a camera on him in the store talking about this and that and this and that. And like people go home at supper and they're like, did you see that guy? Like no one cares.
Yeah,
So
nobody
stop thinking
cares.
that
Yep.
people like it's a good life lesson. It's a good life lesson and an analogy for everything. But essentially, like stop caring. So like what I should have been doing is I should be out and about showing like all the craziness, like, oh no, the quad's not working, or oh no, like we had issues. Well, turn your camera on and start filming it. Or
Yeah.
like start vlogging and saying like, holy cow, guys, this is happening, that's happening. So just like film the drama, quit if you guys are like super nervous about this or that, stop and just like put yourself out there. If you're nervous
Yeah.
about being on camera, nobody cares. Like
Yeah.
if you have a gaming channel, statistically you're going to be way more successful if your face is on it and you have picture in picture. Like
Very
you
good
just
point.
it'll work better. and
Yeah.
and who cares? Like what's the worst thing that'll happen? It'd be like, hey, you're like 7 years old and you have a YouTube channel. Like that's no, people actually think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So stop just because one person doesn't think it's cool. Like who gives a crap?
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of why I agree like 100%. Like stop focusing on those things and worrying about what other people are thinking all the time and focus on just like how do I become a better content creator? There's so many resources and that's why we're talking about Paddy Galloway today because his channel is such a valuable resource for learning. So again, like if you want to learn how to really become a better YouTuber, like study those big YouTubers. I've been doing that with my own videos as of recent. I've really been watching a lot of Mr. Beast and other content creators like him. And I kind of said to myself, well, I need to start to really give people what they want. And since I started doing that about 6 or 7 weeks ago with my weekly video, my retention has gone through the roof. And it's really, really cool to see. And that is the way that you'll keep building up those hours to get that 4,000 hours of watch time. Now, I kind of wondered, Tyler, like, from your Paddy Galloway meeting and consultation, what would you say was the main thing, like the biggest takeaway that you had from your consultation with him?
Oh man, I had so many takeaways. Honestly, my biggest one was just try and tell better stories, try and create better content, try and edit better, try and edit quicker. Think drastically about storytelling and pace.
Pace.
So
Pacing is huge.
Patty pacing is huge. And honestly, like we could do a whole nother podcast or episode just talking about pace. Nobody wants to hear you say because I say all the time, probably like 1,000 in this episode, but I never will. Okay, so when you got it, like, and I knew this, and like all of Paddy's videos already, they tell you that, but really open quick. So cut, or just really talk, like you need to create a hook. You need people to be hooked, and it needs to be something sticky that it's like, okay, why am I watching this? Why should I watch this? What is the purpose of watching this? And so I actually, for every video that I have, oh, hey, Paddy said, really enjoyed our session together. It was one of my favorites. Oh man, you're amazing. Paddy, the legend has arrived.
That's awesome. Welcome, Paddy. Super happy to have you here, my friend.
But back to that, man, seriously, like I really like him telling me like you've lost people, and telling me that like I'm stuck in this kind of area where like, why would people watch this? So like what I've done now is I've got a document, and I say like, what's some drama that you can add? What is the hook? And then something that I have to answer before I post a video is, what is the purpose of somebody watching this? And if you can't actually answer that, probably don't post the video.
Yeah,
probably
that's a good point too, Tyler. Absolutely. And I think like for us as small content creators, when we're not paying attention to those little things, right? Like it's all these little things that go together to make your video, like the whole video. Your title has to be short, clear, concise, to the point. It's got to be clickbaity, but deliver on the clickbaitiness that you're throwing out there. It's got to match your thumbnail. The thumbnail has to visually be really good. And one thing I know Tyler shared with me from the meeting with Paddy was that Paddy was saying to really focus in on your face, like close up your face, because your face is your brand. And that's such a good tip, like such a valuable tip, because your face can be, it could be your glasses, it could be trademark glasses you have, it could be your hat. Like you all know I love Under Armour stuff, so I wear the Under Armour hat.
As you're wearing a Nike hoodie.
Yeah, it could be your clothing, like my hoodie. And I've actually made reference to Under Armour stuff in past videos that I've made. So in the future, if my channel ever did take off, that's a selling point to go to that company and say, hey, I've been promoting your stuff for a long time. And these are little things to keep in mind, right? So, Paddy was saying, have that close up, like your face close up. And like Tyler said, so much traffic, 70% of traffic is mobile. So people are looking at these thumbnails on small devices. If they can't read your text or see your face, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot right from the get-go. So yeah, you really need to focus in on that. And that's one of the best things that I kind of got from Tyler sharing that with me. So thank you for sharing that, Tyler.
Oh man, and honestly, like I couldn't even share everything that he helped me with, because there was just so much. Like it honestly would be hundreds and hundreds of points, and we could make a whole like 10-hour podcast on it. And I also don't want to dig, like it'd be it'd take too long. Honestly, you need to book a consultation with him if you're serious about growing. But the main thing is have actually you want to work people into your story. You want people to be like, whoa, what's happening? And then you can slow things down once you've kind of hooked them. But if you haven't been able to hook them, and like we really talk, like videos talk about the importance of the first 30 seconds. If people aren't sticking for the first 30 seconds, most people's videos don't. They have that really steep drop off. But you really want to hold people for like 70% retention or something like that. I think I've read or heard is like you really want to keep people for that. And if you're not, well then it's not like, oh, my subscribers my subscribers are the worst. No, you gotta look in the mirror and say like, like you're the worst.
And so Tyler, I've got a question for you. What did Paddy tell you in terms of statistics? Did he give you kind of a target of where your click-through versus retention needs to be to maybe have your video get pushed out to the next bubble? Or is there a certain statistic that kind of won't, not necessarily guarantee you're going to go viral, but will give you a better chance? Like what were his kind of thoughts on that?
Yeah, it was obviously the more retention you have, the more it gets pushed out on. Actually, he talks about it in his new video. You should watch that. His new video talks about it. But he he does, like, if you have a longer video, then the retention doesn't have to be as high. But basically, if you have a shorter video, then your retention needs to be really, really high.
Okay.
So, but
Okay.
I mean, the main point is like aim for like 50% retention.
Yeah.
That's kind of the story is like actually go and look at your content, and that's the cool
Hmm.
thing too is Paddy goes through your content and he actually like will break down the statistics of it. I couldn't figure it out. I had never used Zoom before. I was like, oh, I don't know how to share my screen. And I was like in the cafe. I couldn't
Yeah.
hear. Like, it was just like I felt so bad. It was not great on my end with the internet issues that I had. But yeah,
It's
he'll actually go through and break down like the goods and bads. My stats are actually quite good, but my
yeah.
content's not getting found. So it's
Hmm.
essentially, well, keep grinding
Yeah.
and it's going to work out for you, but you just got to, do things better. So maybe I need a video with like a 70% retention.
Yeah.
It's like, and Paddy did say in his new video, he said that your retention, I think he said his biggest video of all time has the worst stats
Wow.
statistically. Maybe if he's listening still, you could comment on that. But yeah,
Wow.
basically the
That's quite
his worst
something.
video ever has the worst stats, and that's because as it gets pushed out more, it just is going to be continually like glossed over because people have
Yeah.
never heard of you. They won't
Yeah.
click on it.
And
Okay,
so,
so YouTube knows that they're not dumb, so that's
yeah, no,
okay.
absolutely. And so, just taking a quick peek here, guys, I'll just show you on Paddy's page. His biggest video ever is actually about Mr. Beast, and I've watched this one. It's a really good one, and 5.7 million views. And like that's
Wow.
incredible for Paddy's up to 241,000 subscribers. Like Tyler and I were saying before, we're shocked that he's not already at like a million, but he will be for sure in the close future.
Oh
But
yeah,
yeah, it's really
phenomenal.
cool to see that, and it's like it's amazing, and he's got other videos into the millions of views as well. So, definitely, I mentioned it before earlier in the video in the live today. But if you have not watched any of Paddy's stuff, like you're missing out big time. Like he's such a talented content creator and amazing stuff. So go check him out and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already,
Yeah,
and watch his stuff because it's phenomenal. I love when I see the Paddy notification go off. It makes me
yeah. He
really
just he
happy.
just commented. He said exactly right. The more impressions, the broader the audience the video gets, so the lower the metrics will drop. And YouTube's not stupid; they understand that, so they're gonna probably keep pushing your stuff out. So.
Hmm.
Uh, Yeah, I said lots of people in this chat will have a higher click-through rate than Mr. Beast. It's all relative to the audience size. So
That's a
that's really
really good
cool.
point
You
too.
know,
Yeah,
and
thanks for sharing that, Paddy.
that's probably a bit of an issue with my channel is who's doing what I'm doing. Not a lot of people, a few people on TikTok, and that's
Yeah.
part of the problem is I don't think people are like sitting there on their computers Googling like trading to a Tesla Cybertruck. It'd
No.
be awesome if people were, but people
Yeah.
aren't doing that. So I'm almost trying to create my own niche. And I think the more that I hammer this out, the better
Yeah.
content I can make. And the more I focus just on creating better content as opposed to like having a pity party for myself and being, oh, why are people not watching my videos? I just need to I need to get better.
Yeah.
And you're lying to yourself if you're saying your content is where it should be, because you honestly need to slap yourself in the face
Yeah.
and like do something about it, because
Yeah.
all of us are struggling. Like even Paddy would say like, my gosh, I'm sure he's embarrassed about a video, maybe even his last video. He's like, dang, I should have done this differently or that differently.
Hindsight
Like
is
you're
always
getting better
2020. Yeah.
every video.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, guys. Something I've always told people along the way, as someone who kind of guides small YouTubers, right, is once you've made your video, it's done. Okay, you watch it back, you're like, shoot, I did this and this and this wrong. I can do it better next time. Make it better next time and move on. Make your next video and your next video, because you can't go back and redo it. I mean, you can, but you're just kind of killing your momentum, and there's no point to it. So move
Yeah.
on to the next video and hammer home the next video, make it better. And for me, every time I make a video, I'm like saying, oh, I think that might be the best one I've made. And you should always be saying that every time you make a video. And if you're not, then you got to really look at yourself and your content process and your creating process and go, man, am I just, like for me, I did a while where I just did sit down podcast style videos, and I'll be the first to admit they weren't good. People didn't like them. I put no effort into editing them, no effort into really, it was just me talking, which is fine, but it didn't really give people what they wanted. So, you know, I had to be brutally honest with myself.
Yeah.
And I think we all need to be like that, be honest with ourselves and say, you know, like, am I doing the best I can do? And if not, like, go back to the drawing board and say, well, what works, right? I just wanted to say welcome
sorry,
to...
one more thing. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to say welcome to Ali and Lewis. Thanks for showing up, guys, and Born Burmese. Glad to have you guys in. Anyone coming in and watching this after, really appreciate you guys taking the time as well. Thank you so much. And this is an amazing topic. Tyler, I don't know, but I think we're going to have to do a second live stream on this topic. Because,
I think so. We definitely could. And I do want to quickly touch on, I really want to touch on one more thing here.
Yeah, go for it, buddy. Absolutely. We've got
just
a
my
little bit of
audio,
time.
like, because if you're a vlogger or you know, if you're out and about, your audio is so important. And I know that, but to have somebody actually tell me, like usually my friends would be like, yeah, your audio is like not perfect. That doesn't like have the same impact. But when someone's saying like, dude, your audio is an issue, like your audio, like when someone's actually like giving it to you straight up, that's what you need. So, you know, if you're going to book a Paddy consultation, awesome. He's going to tell you straight up. But my audio, I had so many issues with it. And it really came down to me feeling the pressure to post weekly. And I really needed to take that extra day. And a cool tip that I don't want to really reveal too much because I want you guys to book the consultation, but something that he told me, this is big, and I used it in my last video, was he just said, close your eyes or like look away from the screen and just have your headphones in, good headphones, and just listen to your video before you finish it. Just do a listen through.
That's a really good point, actually, and something that a lot of people probably wouldn't think to do. So what did
just
Paddy
one
tell
of
you
one
to
of
do
like
then?
thousands of tips that he gave me.
Oh, that's awesome, dude. What did I wanted to just ask, what did Paddy tell you to do in terms of like, you know, did he give you any suggestions or ideas for like little fixes for the audio, or were there any suggestions he had on something you could do to tweak that, or kind of what direction did he kind of guide you in that regard?
Yeah, he actually did a really cool write-up for me, which is awesome. So he sent a detailed report to me, and he did give me some tips in there. But it was basically, he just gave me some specific levels, and I'm not sure what they were, but some specific levels for vlogging and like what decibel levels you want for an instrumental and what decibel levels you want for,
that's very helpful. That's very cool.
For stuff like that. I mean, it's common sense. It's like if you have an instrumental, it shouldn't be louder than your audio. And there were points
absolutely.
So, I mean, it's not rocket science, but it's like literally the most important part of your YouTube videos, you could argue, is your audio.
Okay, very good.
Just make sure we didn't miss any questions here before we sign off. We've got like a minute left here, 2 minutes left.
Yeah, no worries. We can, as far as I'm concerned, we can have about another 5 or 7 if you want, Tyler, unless you got to go.
Yeah, I've got to run here. But yeah, no, honestly, man, I think this is a great place to end. We can do this again. And honestly, guys, check Paddy's channel out and get a friend that's blunt and can tell you straight up what's wrong with it before you post your video.
And I will vouch for that, because Tyler and I, like, we're that for each other. We've been supporting each other's channels for a long time. I remember the first time I saw one of his videos, I was like, there's something special about this guy. And I loved his content from the get-go, even back when it was his old content. You're welcome, Tyler, and I really mean that. And Tyler and I, we've become good friends, and we've been supporting each other for a long time, but a lot of it is like running ideas by each other. So what I'd suggest is find your person that you can do that with, someone who has the same mindset. So if it's someone close to your niche, like Tyler's a different niche, but he also has so much experience from his old channel. He's been on YouTube for a long time, so he's very YouTube knowledgeable, very YouTube driven. He knows a lot. And so find your person that you can bounce those ideas back and forth with. Talk offline, talk email. go on Instagram, chat on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you follow him. Make sure that you follow Paddy on Instagram and Twitter if you're on there as well. You'll get so many amazing nuggets of information off
But
those. And yeah,
but
go ahead, Tyler.
don't follow me if you're not going to watch and
Yeah,
you don't want to watch.
that's
That's the big.
that,
I've
that's a good
literally
point.
sorry, one more tip. Go tell all your friends that are subscribed to you that don't actually watch your videos to unsubscribe. That's the last thing you want is somebody on your page that didn't give you a good click-through rate. They're actually hurting you. So tell them to get off your page.
Yeah, very good point. Very
Get
valid
off
point,
my
Tyler.
page if you're not watching the video. Unsubscriptions at the end of this because some of you guys are just like, I'm subscribed just to subscribe. But hey, if you don't like my content, legitimately like it and want to watch it, just unsubscribe.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a good point, and we'll kind of finish up on this last couple of points because that's something that the same for me. Like if people don't really like my content, like I don't get discouraged when I see that I lost 5 subscribers in a day because, you know, it's like it's not people who are actually going to watch my content anyways, and you don't want the dead weight. And like I said, with that over the last number of months, I've been kind of stationary, but I'm getting in new people who are actually engaging and watching, and then the dead weight is being trimmed away, and my actual statistics are increasing a lot, which is exactly what you want. So Tyler, thank you so much for coming on today, man. I was so excited about this topic. So excited to have you here. And everyone who came, and I can't believe Paddy came. Thank you, Paddy. That means so much to me, my friend. I'm super, super thankful that you showed up and watched for a little while. That's awesome. Thanks for answering questions and engaging. Amazing, dude. Thank you. Yeah, to all of you, make sure you hit up Tyler's channel if you are truly interested in his content. Subscribe. Same with my channel, and same with Paddy's. Make sure you hit up Paddy's channel and watch his stuff because you're gonna learn so much. So Tyler, why don't we do a little bit of a send off here, my friend, and we'll say goodbye to some people who took the time to come. There was quite a lot of people in, which is really nice. So I'll say goodbye to Alexia. Thanks so much for coming. I'm really happy you were able to come today, Alexia. You're an amazing support for this channel. Thank you. Frank, thanks for coming so much. Appreciate that. Lewis, my friend, Metal Mask Off. Lewis is a really good support and friend of mine as well. Thanks for coming, dude. I know that it's not easy for you sometimes. I really appreciate it. Allie, thank you for showing up. Hopefully you can go back and watch the replay because there's lots of great information as well. Spunky, thanks for coming, dude. Really glad to see you. And and of course to Paddy. Thank you, Paddy. I am super, super grateful for you coming, man. It means a ton.
That means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that
that was unexpected.
Sorry, one more thing. Our consultation ended, and he's basically said, like, here's my email. You can hit me up with questions.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I've emailed him. He's sent me like long, detailed answers to my stuff. So it's not like a one and done thing with him. He's genuinely like, I'm not going to bombard him with questions. I want to, but I'm not going to. But that's how he is. But anyways, thanks, guys.
Paddy's just saying, appreciate all of you. Feel free to connect with me on Instagram. I can be a little hard to get a hold of. Laugh out loud.
I wonder why.
Thanks, Tim and Tyler. Godspeed. And same to you, Paddy. Godspeed as well. Thank you so much, brother. Appreciate it. And I have to just give my wife a shout out and say thank you for watching and always supporting. To Nye, she said, we're fire. Good job in the awesome live. Thank you, Tyler and Tim. Tyler, who did you want to say goodbye to, my friend?
Nobody.
Oh, man, harsh.
Everybody. Frank, Metal, Elena, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Seriously, awesome. Thank you guys. Thanks so
everybody so much. And next week we're going to be back with probably a couple of live channel reviews. Hopefully Tyler will be joining me again soon. If not next week, then the week after. And it will be great to have Tyler join in and help with those. Thank you guys so much, and all of you have a lovely rest of your day, and we will chat very soon. Bye, guys. Thanks so much.
See you guys.